into the CHGO White Sox postgame show, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app today and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Welcome into Studio 8 of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the show on Twitter at CHGO_White Sox. Alongside me is the full CHGO White Sox crew. Running out of breath. Got Vinnie Duber. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer. This is Herb Lawrence.
Hello. I can't say hello like that.
Come on, give me a little bit.
Hello.
More. There you go.
Then Greg's going to be like, oh, you didn't do the air check like that.
Who cares? Greg's on his first day. What he's going to learn, he's got to be adaptive as a producer. What, you want every host was perfect and on beat with you?
I would yell at him if they weren't.
Yeah, okay. Hey, look at you. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. We are coming to you live after a White Sox winner, 3-2 in the Boogie Down Bronx, as Herb says. White Sox win. They improved to 27-35. Hey. So you're saying there's a chance, folks.
4.5 games out of first place in the AL Central. That is the up-to-the-minute standings.
Twins and Tigers both losing. So, guys, they have to be back, and we're winning the World Series. And all of my plans about September being 30 different starting pitchers, I guess that's out of the window. Oh, well.
Sean's just going to have to wait for a repeat of 2017.
Well, remember we were talking yesterday.
I'm not asking for it.
I was like, they're probably not going to go 0-18 in these next 18 games. They're not.
No, they're not.
Look at me stepping on that ledge yesterday.
1-0 in their last one, and they're 4-0 in their last four.
Look at these guys. June has been great. It's been awesome for them, and it's been great because of starting pitchers. And this starting pitcher today was no exception. Lucas Giolito, man, I did not expect this. I don't know if you guys expected this, but this man has been much better than I expected in 2023 and today in New York. I don't care if they didn't have Aaron Judge. That's still a formidable lineup, and he made them, for the most part, look silly.
I know the big news is obviously Lucas Giolito, Liam Hendricks getting the save, Seby Zavala going deep twice, but it might be a Yankee headline that might start this entire podcast because tomorrow the pitcher's still TBD, and Aaron Boone, just now, per Max Goodman, who I assume is a beat writer, Aaron Judge will go on the injured list with contusion and sprain of a ligament in his toe. So that means Aaron Judge won't be playing in these 3 games. Didn't play tonight. And that lineup didn't do too well.
Also, aren't they playing the Yankees again?
Soon?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think they play this month anymore.
Oh, okay. It's coming.
I mean, next 18 games are
It's
against.
relatively soon.
Yeah. I think it's post All-Star break even.
Yeah, I think you might be right there.
Yeah, the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Sorry to send everyone scrambling for the schedule.
But then at that point, I mean, Stanton might be out. I mean, as we saw, I mean, they had the splits on the broadcast when they're both in the lineup, when one's in the lineup, and when none are in the lineup.
And it's all good.
Well, the Yankees are pretty good.
Yeah.
The AL East is pretty good.
But it's really good when the White Sox have their core 5, even if Yasmani doesn't play. They win games when these guys are healthy. Put those in quotes.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-2 tonight. Lucas is obviously the main thing. This lineup without Judge, not as formidable. You shared the stat pregame just about how ridiculous Aaron Judge is, closing in on a 200 weighted runs created plus. Just an insane player. But Lucas Giolito, extremely effective over 6 innings. I guess the easiest place to start is, why did it end? Is it just because that 100 pitch mark? We saw Pedro talking to Lucas, and I don't want to say Lucas was crying, but emotional, pent up. I mean, like he seemed to be deep breathing. Like,
well, he had just finished the inning. He was probably,
just worked out,
tired from having been doing physical activity. But yeah,
but we know how intense he is. Like, I wouldn't put it past him to be like, no, like getting worked up, trying to fight for himself.
I guarantee you, Lucas is about to tell the Sox writers who are out there in New York that he wanted to go 9 if it meant he had to throw 200 pitches.
I didn't mean it in a bad way that he's getting emotional. Like, I think it's great that, somebody is that passionate. I mean, that's what Pedro wants in Lucas. That guy that, is not afraid of anything. Like, who cares that his pitch counts at 100? They're afraid to face him. Like, he's got that stare. He's got that mojo going. I mean, I think he kind of, if he has it, why not use it?
Well, and here's the thing, too. So many folks, for obvious reasons, this is what they should do, are always like, leave him in, let him throw the no-hitter kind of thing. Okay, sure. And then we've got a lot of folks in the chat right now bringing up the whole trade deadline idea of Lucas Giolito maybe being moved. But here's what Pedro Grifol's thinking. I'm not going to let him go too far past 100 pitches because I want him to be good, because I think he's going to be pitching for us the rest of the year. I think Pedro Grifol I think that the White Sox are going to dig themselves out of this hole, that are going to be a first-place team, that are going to be a playoff team, and I want Lucas Giolito throwing every fifth day at maximum capacity because, boy, look what he just did to the New York Yankees, a team that could very well be in the playoff hunt when everything comes down to the wire here. So, listen, Pedro Grifol is thinking, for a guy who's totally thinking about one game at a time all the time, he's thinking in the long term in that decision where he's saying, let's not risk Lucas Giolito because 5 days from now he could go do that again, and 5 days after that he could go do that again, and wouldn't that help the White Sox vault back into the realm of top of the AL Central if Lucas Giolito could help power them to a bit of a run here?
I think it's multiple things with Pedro Grifol's thinking when Vinny covered most of them right there, where you're thinking about Lucas has to pitch the next start and multiple starts after that, but also he gave you 6. He's at 100 pitches. Everybody in everybody's heart of hearts knows that Lucas Giolito is not going to finish that game no matter what.
3 innings. He's got 3 innings left to cover, yeah.
At minimum, if he goes very efficient, that's 130 pitches. That's not happening.
Edwin Jackson territory.
Exactly.
Well, and he wasn't even on that pace.
Exactly.
He was on pace to use 150.
Exactly. And so he's like, if he's not going to finish the game, why would I start him in the 7th inning? And I know he might not finish the 7th inning. So let's give my bullpen, who's been dominating and pretty great since Joe Kelly's come back. Now we have our bullpen set up the way we need to. Joe Kelly, Kendall Graveman, Liam Hendricks. Let's give them 7, 8, 9. And that will be a way that we can get our regular bullpen right, and I trust them. So I think it was a correct move. Yes, in the moment, I'm like, I want them to pitch a little bit more because he's pitching so effectively. But also, I know that they have a good bullpen. And, yes, they gave up 2 runs. One of them, very questionable. But I have no problem with Pedro, dude. I actually applaud him. It takes a big-time manager to make that type of move and take a ball from a guy who wants the ball at 100 pitches. And it's like some arbitrary number, but also he knows that you're not going to go the full game. So why would I risk you going into the 7th inning, maybe get hit hard, 3rd, 4th time around seeing you in this lineup when I have a lockdown bullpen that can shut them down? We're trying to get the victory and also trying to preserve you. So I have no problem with what Pedro did. It was a perfectly executed play.
Yeah, and, I mean, again, they won the game. Can't really be mad when this team that's under 500 wins a game.
On the road.
Well, and
versus a tough team.
2, he's consistent. Just to bring a little bit more context on Lucas's season, he has gone over 100 pitches, and it doesn't seem like too many people were up in arms that he pulled Lucas Giolito. I mean, this has been
just
before. We've seen this before because this is now the multiple. We saw this first pitcher in White Sox history with multiple 6+ innings and 0 hits allowed. So we've seen Pedro pull him from this situation before.
When we talk about obviously the history of baseball, but even the history of me watching baseball, which is, just a little about, a quarter of a century, let's call it, this is still a relatively new development where it's kind of commonplace to pull a guy who has a no-hitter going. Like you brought up Edwin Jackson and the ridiculous number of pitches he threw, the ridiculous number of guys that he walked in that game. But guess what? That's how you did it. Until a guy gets a hit, you don't take him out of the game. Yep. Things have changed, and this happens frequently. You're about to bring up the number of times that Pedro Grifol has done it this year, which I believe is at least 3, if not more, twice with Lucas and once with Kopech, I think.
Kopech, yes.
Kopech had...
Oh, I was actually going to just bring up that, Lucas's most starts or most pitches in a start is 108, and he pitched 6 innings. So I was just saying, like, once he's reached 6 innings and reaches that 100-mark plateau, he gets pulled out. Like that, so I'm just saying it follows Pedro's consistency. Like this isn't him following astray from the plan. Like I think I'm not opposed to him pulling Lucas in this moment.
I guess what I was going to say is you say you bring up you didn't see many people upset about it. I think the modern baseball watcher is now used to that. Mm-hmm. Folks who have been doing it for a little longer, like Herb and myself, maybe are like, oh, it's still notable that a guy who had a no-hitter going gets taken out. But I think younger folks are just like, well, that's what happens when you hit 100 pitches kind of thing.
That's what happened with Ross Stripling early in his rookie year, I believe, with Doc Roberts taking him out of the game, and his parents, Ross Stripling's parents, thanked Doc Roberts because that was the right move to do, to take him out before he got to a certain number of pitches. He had a no-hitter going, and Dave Roberts took him out because he's like, I'm going to protect you for the rest of your career, and Ross Stripling's went on to a decent career since then.
It's funny that you bring up, like, in your history, and like, you know, we think baseball history, like, oh, no hitters, and like there's probably a ton from like the 1920s of pitchers throwing no hitters and going over 130 pitches. There's only 13. Here are the no hitters, I think. They're all shutout wins, so I'm pretty sure this research is correct. But here are the pitchers that went over 130, and the two guys that went to 129, 2001 and 2015. Edwin Jackson in 2010, Lincecum in 2013, Randy Johnson in 1990, Sandy Koufax in 1962, Mike Fiers in 2015, Dwight Gooden in 1996, Johan Santana in 2012, Bud Smith in 2001, Mike Fiers again in 2019.
Mike Fiers just throwing multiple no-hitters?
I guess.
Wow.
And Luis Robert hit a home run 480 feet off of him.
Boy, did he.
Kent Mercker, 1994. Tommy Green, 1991. Those two, same as Mike Fiers.
Kent Mercker, the same guy who used to pitch for the Cubs?
The Brave Cub?
The Brave. He was a Brave.
Hey,
Very brave that day. He threw no hitter. John Lester, 2008, and Nolan Ryan, 1990.
So a lot of recent ones, right?
You were alive for
most or many of those.
All but 12.
Right.
Or all but one. The Sandy Koufax one in 1962. Same for you guys.
Yeah, but remember that first no-hitter in Mets history, Johan Santana, after that, wasn't the same guy. Like, he pitched those many pitches, and if you ask the Mets fan, he wasn't the same guy after that. He was on to a Hall of Fame trajectory and fell off after that. So, you know, pitching that many pitches can be...
Santana did that in his last year.
Who?
Santana...
He threw a no-hitter, not in his last year.
Yeah, Santana from 2000 to 2010 had an ERA of 3.10, but then missed the 2011 season completely. So he's coming off an injury already.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it
might have been the first injury.
Yeah, he got hurt. No, he got hurt after that. He didn't pitch well.
because the no-hitter came in 2012. That's what I'm saying. So,
but I'm saying
he missed the previous season.
Yeah, but he didn't pitch as well after that.
I hear you, but I'm saying, well, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm just saying, like, he missed the season prior.
We got Adam Hogue watching us, too.
Hi, Adam.
Got all the CHGO Bears here.
Seriously.
Adam says
it's baseball season, baby.
Well, to be fair to Braggs, he's wearing a Cubs hat and said he wasn't going to try to fight us during this show.
That's a baseball team.
That's true. Yeah, shout out to Adam Hoke. My point is just, I don't know. I mean, like, he missed the 2011 season. We don't need to talk about Johan Santana. Argue about Johan Santana and his career fell off. Giolito, though. I mean, first off, Seby Zavala called a great game. I mean, you said if he was giving up runs, it was a bad game. So not only did he provide the pop, but apparently called a great game. But again,
he did everything.
Yeah, right. I think the one thing we mentioned pregame is if he pitches a large game and lives up to the large game Lucas Giolito moniker that you gave him, we're going to have
registered trademark.
All the talking heads saying, "Oh, Lucas Giolito, very interesting trade piece." I think John earlier mentioned, Lucas is not long for this team, and that's what all the reports are saying so far. I mean,
maybe
if he pitches this well, and Adam's saying that the White Sox aren't going to be selling, Lucas Giolito can't leave this team, right?
No.
I mean, he's their best pitcher right now.
No, I don't think there's a way that you trade Lucas Giolito unless you're getting something that you're not expecting. You're getting some major league ready talent. That's a starting pitcher coming back in the trade. Otherwise, I don't know what you're doing. Like, yes, it's his last year, but also he is your best pitcher, and you are still in the hunt for the AL Central.
Also, they might be in first place in like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, they also might still be in fourth place.
That's also true.
The Twins are playing the Rays this week, so they might be in first place by the end of the week if they do some work versus the Boogie Down Bronx Yankees. But I say that you can't trade him. I say under very slim circumstances that you trade Lucas Giolito. Like if they're just way out of the playoffs, which I don't think anybody could see that happening in a month and a half to the trade deadline. So I'm thinking that the White Sox are going to keep him no matter what unless they're way out of it. And are we thinking that they're going to be way out of it?
I mean, they could be.
They could be. Very possibly. But that would probably be him being bad in those games too. And so then
he only pitches once every 5 games.
Yeah.
But yes, I think the point is that numerous things could happen, and I think you could see either side of the spectrum happening here. the White Sox could be good, and Lucas could be very much a part of that, and the White Sox could be bad. And then, which case you're talking about him as perhaps the biggest trade candidate on this team, or they could be right in the middle, and we could still be talking about who the hell knows what's going to happen in a month from now.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen in a month from now, and that's, I guess, why it keeps coming back to Lucas's trade value and will he, won't he. I mean, I guess like 2 off days ago, that was our main focus on if the White Sox would look to trade Lucas, and him pitching this well honestly doesn't give me any clarity because when he pitches well, the White Sox win, which puts them more in contention in the AL Central. So it doesn't make sense when Bob Nightingale and Ken Rosenthal are like, oh, no matter where the White Sox are, they're trading Lucas Giolito. So, I mean, is that the white flag trade? If the White Sox are, in first place and they're trading Lucas Giolito at the deadline?
That's worse than the white flag trade because you're literally in the first place.
I mean, maybe that's the new white flag 2.0.
White Sox fans would burn it down. Not literally, figuratively, be like,
don't give anybody any ideas, Herb.
Yeah. Like, is that what puts them in a spot to change course, quote unquote, like from what the national reporters are saying? Because I mean, obviously, Rick Hahn is saying to you that they're not going to be selling, but maybe they change course if they're in first place and they start making the qualifying offer instead of trying to trade him for whatever at the deadline.
Right. I mean, what was my reaction when we saw that report from Bob Nightingale that was they have determined that they have no intention of bringing him back next year. And what I said was, how in the world could they have made that determination in the first month of a season that they don't know how it's going to end?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much left to go here. What if Lucas Giolito leads them to the playoffs? You know what I mean? You don't think you'd want to keep him around? Yes. So, I mean, and I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's a possibility of something that certainly it was in April of something that could happen.
But
right?
if it does, that makes it more possible that if you give him the qualifying offer, it's actually going to be worth it because a team would give him the offer that's more than $20 million, and then you'd get that compensatory pick. Like, I mean, there is a benefit to him doing well. Like, I mean, either way.
He's going to be a free agent. Of course there's a benefit to him doing well.
I mean, the better he does, though, the more he goes out of the White Sox price range now.
Hey, I mean,
that's not on him.
That's a great thing for everybody.
No, I'm not saying it's not
that's a great thing for everybody. That's great for the White Sox, too. If he pitches this well, I think you want him. This is like we're talking on the pregame about other teams looking at this game and saying, "Man, he shut down the Yankees. We want him on our team." Imagine if the White Sox get to the playoffs. Hey, remember in June when he shut down the Yankees? We want him on our team. We want to keep him on our team because we might face those Yankees, those Rays, those Rangers, the teams that are trying to look for starting pitchers. We want that starting pitcher on our side instead of on another team. And like you said, the compensation you get from tagging him is, I think, going to be better than what you're going to get in the trade deadline. And it will make White Sox fans much more happy because we're competing. They're competing right now. So I don't know why the whispers of, I know Bob Nightingale has an ear of somebody up in the White Sox clubhouse, Kenny or Rick or Jerry, but it makes zero sense that they're, talking about they'll look to trade him no matter what. That seems weird. It just seems odd. Like, as Vinny said, and it's the 2 months into the season. You don't know where they're going to be. They're 4.5 games out now, currently. And why would we even entertain trading our best pitcher? By far our best pitcher, by the way. Not even close.
This is the closest they've been to first place since early April, I believe. Like, since the first couple weeks of April. I mean, this is as close as they've been. This is
4.5 back?
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're not even playing good baseball either. They're just pitching very well.
Well, that's part of baseball.
That's a part of baseball.
They are.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, like, again, they have this win against a team that is above 500 in the best division, leading off the series. Obviously, the White Sox, we thought, had the pitching advantage coming in, and that obviously was clear. But, again, it's like they didn't play a perfectly clean game. We'll get into how the no-hitter ended. Oof. We talked about the shockingness of Seby Zavala's stats going into the game. So when Kevin Kaduk texted me, I should have bet on Seby Zavala to hit 2 home runs, I was like, you would have been a fucking madman to bet on the White Sox money line, let alone Seby to hit 2 home runs or a home run. So, I mean, this is definitely a shocking way to win, I think. To go into New York, have 6 innings of shutout ball and have 2 home runs from your backup catcher who had an OPS of 16 plus. Like
I will
not repeatable.
I will bring up 2 things. Number one would be my opinion, which exactly, you're right. How can a team that has the offensive night that they did, where you take up the 2 home runs from the backup catcher and they didn't do anything?
Yep.
How can that be looked upon as good? But it's the same thing that happened on Sunday. It's the exact same thing that happened on Sunday.
Yep.
For 8 innings, they didn't do anything.
Yep.
They looked bad. They were striking out all the time, and then they decided at the last minute they were going to take some pitches. They walked. They loaded the bases. Jake Berger hits a home run. Game over. They win in thrilling fashion. Right. Pedro Grifol has been saying, because what did they do on Saturday? They won a game in which all 3 runs were scored on wild pitches. That this is not the way. Pedro Grifol has basically said, this is not the way you would draw it up, or you would want to draw it up. But there's that whole element of winning in different ways, figuring out how to win a ball game, winning by any means necessary. These are buzzwords and coach speak, player speak, but they believe in it, and they think that when you can go and have a win, a great uplifting win on a night like this, or a day like Sunday, or a day like Saturday, well then, oh boy, once the actual runs start coming in, now you've managed to win it. Now you've got every tool in the toolbox kind of situation. I don't know if that's actually how it is. This might just be 3 really weird games in a row, but they won, and that's what they need to be doing right now.
Absolutely.
Right.
Not trying to complain. But again, it just goes back to what I said yesterday about Pedro and the glass not breaking for him yet. Like, they're still waiting for them to get hot. I mean, I guess maybe Seby's hot, which is great. And Luis Robert had some nice swings today, 2 hits, and then almost knocked one out. So I'm not saying it's all bad here. Let's look at our super chats. Then we'll take a break, and then we'll get into how the no-hitter ended, and we'll talk about Seby's powerful day. Husky Bardo, mentally preparing for this team to trade Colson. You've brought up, though, that Colson's still injured, right?
He has not played at all this year.
Right, he's dealing with an oblique injury.
that doesn't stop them from trading people. Remember, they traded Nick Madrigal when he was out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, but he had played
was
in the big leagues that year, right? Yeah.
And the year before.
Yeah.
And I have no problem if they trade in Colson Montgomery if it's a good value and it's helping this team this year. You can only win the division this year. The future is the future. You can go and get better players or comparable players to Colson Montgomery.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. You broke Sean by suggesting that you're okay with them trading Colson Montgomery.
I'm so sorry. Vinny actually broke me, and I feel nervous.
I broke you.
Why did he break you?
I feel nervous because I only have 10 seconds of unprompted time. I'll go to the super chat.
What happened?
How did Vinny break you?
Has he
Well,
played?
no, you broke me because you brought up Nick Madrigal.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, folks.
I
Bringing
see
up
you,
that name.
Steven. I got to talk to you. Because you had a take earlier, and
Oh yeah.
Seby went deep first. All right, Dave Barista. Most ironic thing, I ran into Giolito on the 3rd floor of the Modern Wing at AIC last Thursday. What's AIC?
Art Institute of Chicago.
Thank you.
Look at that fancy barista.
I just never know that. I'd never seen that abbreviated. Had to share the story of his no-hitter when I let my kids stay up late and have ice cream. Good vibes. Absolutely. What's on the 3rd floor of the AIC?
I've never been, so I don't know.
Dave, comment.
You've never been to the Art Institute.
You've never been?
I've
It's
walked past
free
it.
for you.
I've walked
Thursday
past it
nights is
multiple
free.
times.
We have to. That's a great social bit. Herb
We'll
goes
take Herb.
Herb goes to the Art Institute for the first time.
And you know what?
We could just do
Today
all the
was Ferris Bueller Day. We should have done it
yesterday
today. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
We should have done it yesterday. But yeah, Herb, we'll take you.
You guys got a favorite Ferris Bueller character?
Favorite Ferris Bueller character?
Yeah, we asked that on.
Yeah.
Someone asked that on CH. I think Casey did.
There's 2 of my favorite lines. It's either the mom with the 9 times, and Rooney said 9 times, or I say this all the time. When somebody asks me a score, they say 0-0. Who's winning?
The Bears.
The Bears.
So the bartender.
Yeah. The Bears.
You got a favorite character?
Not off. I'd have to go through it. I'd have to go
Relax,
through
man.
it. I always like a snooty Mater D. That's always exciting. Yeah.
Snooty? Yeah. Snotty?
I said the secretary. He's a righteous dude.
I think her name is Edie McClure.
Yeah, she doesn't have any misses. Edith.
Edith McClure.
Friends call her Edie. Let's take a break and let you know about Shady Rays, our favorite sunglasses out there. I know Vinny has them right there. Look at that.
Well, bam!
He's propped. Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. They have durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures, and that's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection program in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost or broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us that they will send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after your purchase. If you don't love your Shady Rays, sorry, you can exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. And exclusive for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code CHGO for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized shades. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Was recently on the Shady Rays website. A lot of new styles that are very, very cool in stock. So definitely check them out.
The wife just used the promo code.
Oh.
She got a whole box of sunglasses.
Hell yeah.
A literal box of sunglasses was delivered the other day. Not like an envelope with one in them. Like, it was this big of a box of sunglasses. So she's set for summer. And
Let's go.
You can be too.
Somebody taking on the sun.
Somebody asked if I've been to the basement in the Alamo. Sean, have you?
I don't know. I haven't. What's basement at the
Have you been in the basement of the Alamo,
No.
Vinny?
There's no basement in the Alamo.
Thank you, Sean.
That's from Pee-wee, right?
Ridiculous.
Isn't that from Pee-wee?
Yeah, Pee-wee's Herman's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Large Marge.
I'm so sorry.
God, what's wrong with you?
My dad used to show me Pee-wee.
The show or the movie?
I don't know.
The show is the show is wild. Yeah. The show is wild. Yeah.
Tequila.
Hit it out of the park with this baseball season with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can place a $5 bet and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can take a shot at bigger payouts with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code CHGO. I know our guy Cody is sweating out a same-game parlay, hit parlay that we give out on CHGO Bets daily every day of the week except tomorrow. So don't tune in. Tune in on Thursday, though, at 11 a.m.
What was the bet?
Oh, I don't know.
He
He had 3 Cubs and the game's currently on, so I don't really think you could bet it right now. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code CHGO only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-505 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expires 7 days after issuance. Opt-in and 10-plus leg requirements for 100% boost. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.com, sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms. All right.
I'm excited for Sean's second career as an auctioneer.
I have a little.
That was amazing.
Micro machines.
I feel like I could do it cleaner. My one beef is I did a really clean and perfect read in front of Jake, and he was like, "Oh, we're gonna record it and have a disclaimer." Since I've done like 3 reads where I've had to do the disclaimer again live, so I'd like to.
It's in the works.
Record a disclaimer,
it's in the works,
please. I hope so. I'm running out of breath. All right, let's go into.
Throw it to us. What do you want us to say?
No, I have breath.
He's
Don't
back.
worry. So Joe Kelly comes in and gives up the first hit for the White Sox. Also gives up the first run in just a weird fashion. A high fly ball hit in between Benintendi and Robert in left center. If you're familiar with Yankee Stadium, kind of in the middle of their left field bullpen. I think where the away team warms up. And it looked like Benintendi probably had a better line to the ball, but he saw that Luis was running at the ball as fast as he could.
Which is exactly what Luis saw.
Yeah, and Luis
Andrew running at the ball.
And Luis is 6'3", 220, and runs much faster than Andrew Benintendi. So I get why Benintendi kind of pulls off, but then it seems like Robert, where he ends up finishing, is literally like right where the ball drops. It just seemed like bad communication.
Someone's got to call that. Granted, I think for both guys, it's a long, long run to make that play. But I think both guys would have made it there.
Yes.
Certainly, Luis is the one with the jaw-dropping range. But I do think Benintendi was running well enough to make that catch if Luis wasn't running right at him. Same thing for Luis if Andrew wasn't running right at him. I'm going to go ahead and guess that at the end of the day, it's probably not as ugly as a lot of people thought it looked. Obviously, it's the first one of the game. It ends the combined no-hitter. So there's a lot of uproar over it, let's say. But these are two guys running full speed at each other. They did not want to cause something worse than letting a hit drop in. And by that, I mean an injury to either one of them. That being said, someone's got to call the other guy off. And I guess that's Luis's job. Would have been an amazing play if he made it. Would have been an amazing play if Andrew made it. But at the end of the day, someone's got to say something. We saw Luis have some trouble calling for balls in the outfield earlier this season when it came to him and Eloy getting together in right center field and on one of those plays, just plain old right field. So maybe that's something that he still needs to work on, or maybe it's a one-play goof. But it would have been an amazing play had either guy completed it. The fact that neither of them did makes it look pretty bad.
Initially, I saw it and I was like, oh, man, Robert pulled up a little bit because, yeah, as we guys discussed, like he might have thought that Andrew was running full speed and he didn't want to collide into him. But he pulled up, and I thought if he was going in the same pace and trajectory that he was initially, he would have caught that ball pretty easily. But even though he covered a ton of ground. But then somebody brought it up, the air quality not being great. I don't know if his vision was blurred by all the smoke and all the smog that's in the air. So I don't know if he could actually see the ball correctly when it did descend from the ground or from the air. So I got to give him, some leniency there, but also it's his ball. He's the captain of the outfield. He's got to call Benintendi off and say, I got these. Do it early. I know he's going full speed, so, speaking is not, paramount right there. The running is the paramount thing, but it's his ball. He has to call it off. No harm, no foul eventually, but, yeah, I'm sure that Lucas and Joe Kelly would have loved for him to go and get that ball and to have a combined no-hitter chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the double, too, 27-degree launch angle, and expecting batting average of 200. So, wasn't an extremely difficult play, but
they hit it where they weren't.
But I was going to bring up Herb's point about the air quality. I do think that a ball hit straight up in the air is probably a little bit more difficult to play. I mean, we didn't talk about that yet, but I mean, we learned today 0 to 50 is good air quality, and the air quality due to the Canadian wildfires north of the border is just making air quality in Ohio tough, Indianapolis tough, New York tough, a little bit in Chicago
the window
here as well. There's an air quality air quality index
91
warning.
Yeah.
But that could possibly make it difficult to see that ball. I mean, just making that huge run, tracking a fly ball for me is tough. I mean, I'm just saying, I'll give them leniency there. They won the game. But yeah, just again, more communications, and I do wonder how much the Eloy's incidents might have played into at least Benintendi's head or Robert's head as well. I mean,
when you grow up by the steel mills your whole life, you get used to the bad air quality.
Brick by brick over by the steel mills. Thank you, Bragg.
See, if Luis Robert Jr. was from the region, he would have had that one right in the glove.
Where you from, Gary?
Region Rat Pantera.
A couple towns over, Crown Point, proud of Crown Point,
Did
Indiana.
you know a La Pantera in the region?
Yeah, no,
you didn't.
But he's welcome there if he'd like.
No, I just didn't know if he called a kid in your neighborhood La Pantera. That'd be pretty sweet. Anyways, got distracted by La Pantera. Anyways, I not a bad way for the no hitter to break up. Seby did though call a great game. We'll get to Liam Hendricks in a bit, but I want to get to the crazy home runs from Seby Zavala. The first one was a Yankee Stadium special, right down the right field line, opposite field shot. Wouldn't have been a homer in any other park. And then the other one would have been a homer in every single ballpark, and even the cornfield and the Mexico City stadium as well. We mentioned on pregame. Here are the home run metrics: 95.4 mile per hour homer in the third inning.
Yep.
41-degree launch angle, 320 hit distance, an expecting batting average of .020, and a home run
Mickey Mouse Ballpark.
in 1 of 30. And then the other one, 109.8, 31-degree launch angle, 435 feet, and it was a homer in 30 of 30. A moonshot for one and just a little league Mickey Mouse in the other.
You
great
gotta
day
like
for Seby.
you gotta like an expected batting average of 1,000.
Right.
Yes.
That's always working working in your favor there.
Truly extreme opposites. I mean,
Yeah.
.020 and 1,000.
Yeah, that second one was absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. And I mean, you can laugh
And he
all
bat dropped it.
You can laugh all you want at the first one. He's playing in the ballpark they put him in that night. But boy, that second one was just smoked. And you're gonna bring up the stats in a minute. As soon as he hit that second one, I'm like, oh boy, Seby's gonna have another 3-homer game. This is taking me back. This is taking me back to what was that? 19?
Oh no, was it?
Pretty long ago, but
I think it was 21.
was it 21?
Yeah, I don't think he had a homer in 20 in 19. He had it was
I thought it was pre-pandemic for whatever reason,
maybe.
but no.
I don't know. Let me look. I mean, do you have any Seby thoughts while I look this up?
I mean, it's very odd to hit the unicorn that he hit in the third inning and then hit the 30 of 30 in the fifth. Like, I don't know, Chris Kamka didn't look it up, and I don't have the technology or the wherewithal to look it up, but that's got to be one of the rarest things to hit, firstly, 2 home runs in a game, and then those 2 home runs being that diametrically opposed to each other. It's like, yeah, that he had no doubt in that second one, and as you said, that bat drop, he's been looking at Yaz. That bat drop was smooth as fuck. I love it. And he just put his head down like Steven likes and ran to first and ran around the bases. Steven's like, yes, quality running. That trot's nice.
In that 12-11 loss to Cleveland on July 31st, 2021, he hit 3 homers and drove in 6 runs. So, Steven, you brought up the Yankee thing. It's only 3 of his career home runs versus the Yankees. But now with another multi-home run, 5 of his 11 career home runs have come in 2 games. So basically 50% of his home runs have come in 2 games. And that's why we were talking earlier, while it's going to bring him near his career numbers with this, still underperforming a 16 OPS plus. Like, thankfully got on the board here. Hey, I mean, he deserved a break after what he was dealing, but none of this is going to drive up the BABIP that I was talking about.
I guarantee
those aren't balls in play.
I guarantee Sports Talk Radio in New York is like, this Seby Zavala, he's the best. Like, the corn game they remember is like, that guy started off the 9th inning, and that's why they won the game after Tim hit that home run after he got on base. And then he hits these 2 home runs versus our guy and win the game for the White Sox. I guarantee it's going to be like the Ryan Rayburn stories we tell. It's going to be Seby Zavala in New York. It's like, who the is this Seby Zavala guy, and why is he hitting tanks off our guys?
And not only that, I mean, you got to look to the thing that he has done all year, which is handle this pitching staff really well and particularly catch Lucas Giolito really well. They are in sync. There's no doubt about that. Gio's ERA, I'm sure, is under 4 now for the season after today. And, I mean, he didn't give up any hits in 6 innings. The whole team only gave up 3 hits on the whole game. Seby deserves credit for that, and he deserves credit for what he's been doing as a catcher this season. Yes, there's more to that job than just that. We know, but he has done a very good job of that, and it was all on display tonight.
So to go to the Ryan Rayburn stories of Seby Zavala in his career has how many hits against the Yankees?
5.
No.
10.
No.
3.
How many have been home runs?
All of them.
3. He's gotten on base no times because he's just taking a trip around. He's cruising, baby. Also, I don't think I gave proper shout-outs to Dave and Husky for the Super Chats. Thank you, guys. And Greg, give him a goose honk, all right? Steven, show him the rope.
Oh, he already got it. Look, Greg is out there.
Hey, let's go.
Greg is already here.
That's the first thing you learn in CHGO producer school.
All right,
is
Steven.
how to
You're
where
not
the goose
lying.
honk is.
That was the first button I pressed today producing was the honk. I got to get the honk.
All right, Steven.
All
the door's there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Greg's got it. Oh, yeah, you got to do the Cubs, too. Ugh.
Greg, can you find the...
Sorry, you got to be here until like 1,000 nights tonight. Sorry, man.
Greg, can you find the ComEd banner? Because Vinny and Herb have to go to ComEd Theater and talk about this. After the break, we're going to talk about Liam Hendriks recording his first save after battling chemo. We talked about him getting the win on Sunday. Well, hey, next game he's getting the save. So Liam is back, and we'll also dive into some stats because our guy Stephen Nicholas talked about Andrew Benintendi on the pregame and didn't come true.
The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is committed to helping families and businesses in communities they serve, helping manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future. Vinny?
Herb, you're right.
I am.
ComEd offers a wide variety of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across our beloved territory. I don't know if that ends or continues past Chicagoland. But
it goes into Northwest Indiana, probably.
That's kind of Chicagoland.
Oh,
it's
yes.
kind of its own thing going on there. But yeah, but it is the region. That's where Luis Robert Jr. is from. But helping manage energy, they help manage energy usage and lower energy bills, both now and far into the future.
That's good. How? Pry-tell, does it work,
Well,
Vinny?
I'll tell you this. Oh, I've screwed this up, haven't I?
No, you haven't.
Well, I did, but that's okay.
You're doing a great job. You're doing
I'll
great.
tell you
Sweetie.
this, that ComEd offers free facility assessments that can help find energy-saving opportunities, like those for HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment, or industrial processes. And before you ask me how it works, Herb, I'm going to tell you.
Oh.
An authorized engineer will work with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and needs. These can be done in person or virtually and last approximately 2 hours. Within 3 to 4 weeks, customers will receive a report detailing energy efficiency projects that they can start working on immediately, just like Eddie O might still say. We don't watch the Kraken. Each recommendation will include estimated energy savings, cost savings, project costs, potential incentives, and simple payback. If you, Herb, own a business, don't wait.
I won't.
Now, behind the scenes we go. It's highlighted in yellow right here. CTA, Chicago Transit Authority. Get started saving money and energy today. For energy-saving tips, lighting incentives, or to schedule your free facility assessment, you out there should go to ComEd.com/poweringbiz.
ComEd.com/poweringbiz is what you said, right, Vinny?
Herb, you do not need to clean out your ears. That is what you heard. I did say ComEd.com/poweringbiz. So go and schedule it today.
You guys are dorks.
Well, sometimes I do need to clean out my ears.
Acting!
Get a little wax build up.
What are you drinking, Herb?
This is a delicious full pocket pills from our friends at Goose Island.
Honk, honk.
Boom.
Job brags. The Full Pocket Pills is their everyday beer. It's what the Brewers are drinking. My everyday beer.
It's what the Milwaukee Brewers are drinking?
Probably.
Brewers are drinking. No shit.
Christian Yelich's like, delicious.
Rowdy Tejas is just crushing those.
Freddie Peralta cooling off after today's start against the Orioles with a nice 3-1-2 wheat ale. Maybe he's chilling with the Tropical Beer Hug. That's a dry hopped Imperial IPA. 9.9% alcohol, but it's dangerously easy to drink. They also have the Goose IPA, which is a 6-time medal award winner at the Great American Beer Fest. They've been Chicago's beer since 1988, and they've been our beer for
a while.
For a while?
Yeah.
I don't know the exact dates, so I won't throw out dates. I think over 6 months now at this point. They've been fantastic, and we are supported by Goose Island Beer Company. You can see the lovely neon sign behind us if you are watching the live video. And if you
Behind Vinny's head.
hit that thumbs up button. But you can grab an ultra-fresh brewery-exclusive beer at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer. Also want to let you know about Game Time. That is the way that you're going to keep the stress out of your life when you are looking to buy tickets. It's the fastest and easiest way to get into all the sports, comedies, music, and theater near you. And with killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for all the fun you'll have. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. Again, you won't stress over getting the best seat for the best price, because if you find tickets in the same section or in row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. And the best part too is you get images of your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. You'll get the seats you want for the price you want. So snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today and download. I got way too excited. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Thank you, Game Time. And also, shout out to Greg Braggs. Hit that thumbs up button for Braggs. We are building a first place AL Central division winner brick by brick. Did I do that right, Braggs?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
I'm the good luck charm for you guys.
You are the great luck charm.
All
for
it
us,
took was
Braggs.
a Cubs fan producing your show.
There you go.
I don't want to upset the chat. I don't want to alienate our chat.
He's got to be here for the Cubs post game.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Sorry we keep trying to kick you out,
We're
Steven.
firing Steven.
We're not firing Liam Hendricks. Giving us a thumbs up down there, and he gets the save tonight. First save since returning from leukemia. I feel like we've
Lymphoma.
Oh, lymphoma. I'm sorry. I thought it was
Non-Hodgkin's. You're fine. It's fine.
Lymphoma.
Just want to make sure the folks know what's
Absolutely.
up. Yeah.
Was first thought to be stage 4, right?
Was what he said. That
Yeah.
was the diagnosis. Yeah.
Insane. So obviously he's making his comeback. We just saw his first win since his return, and now we just see his first save.
In consecutive games.
Yeah, and we talked about it on the pregame show. We talked about it on the off-day show. I don't think we should be too surprised that this scenario popped up, no?
I mean, he's obviously back to the 9th inning. He's pitched in 2 9th innings in a row. Obviously, it was in a tie game on Sunday, but tonight, save situation. And yeah, didn't go quite as perfectly as anyone wearing a White Sox uniform would have hoped, but he did get the job done. 3 straight outs after Josh Donaldson hit his first pitch out for a home run to make it just a 1-run game. But unless we hear any different from Liam that, oh, man, I didn't feel the way that I thought I was going to feel during that. I mean, listen, he gave up home runs before he had cancer. This is nothing, this is not necessarily related to his comeback.
In the stadium, too, specifically.
Right. So my point being, sorry to make that sound
I know,
bad,
I know why you're laughing. I know.
My point being that just because you saw him give up a home run tonight and just because he saw himself give up a home run tonight doesn't necessarily mean he is not ready to return to full-time closing duty. If he says that he doesn't feel ready, then that's a different story. But it would seem to me that Pedro Grifol as his 9th inning pitcher that he's been waiting for, obviously, to use for his first time as Sox manager.
No, I'm sorry. I started thinking about that Bruce Levine clip where he was like, unfortunately, he was a cancer survivor.
Yeah, John Lester.
Yeah,
And
misspoke. It's just like the worst thing.
And they use it all the time in the score. It's great times. Yeah, but amazing story just continues to write like better stories on top of each other, and it's like, where is a better, bigger stage to get your first save of the season than versus the Yankees? Like, that's the biggest stage in baseball. So yeah, it's amazing what he's doing. Yeah, you're gonna give up home runs, and I would wish he would give up a home run to somebody else than that jerk. But sometimes you gotta give up home runs to jerks. He's the reason why he's in the league still. But yeah, he looked good still. Like, and you saw him get pissed like the regular Liam does. So he looks like nothing's changed at all. It's still, God damn it, motherfucker, let's go.
And if you look at the pitch too, like
It's just an inside fastball. Right?
It's inside too.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a strike. Like
Yeah.
it's probably a ball if Donaldson takes it. So like he kind of hit a pretty tough pitch to hit and hit it out of the park. Like,
But he was looking for him. He was cheating. He was
True.
looking for it, got it, and he crushed it.
Still
and
tough
Liam
to
after
hit a
things
fastball like that. I
Liam's
mean-
like, that was on me. That was on me.
I know. I said I will never give credit to Josh Donaldson, but I mean, sometimes just hitters do what they're paid to do. So I mean, I'm not really miffed at Liam for giving that up. And again, I mean, he got 3 straight groundouts then to Tim Anderson to end the game. Like, he was extremely effective tonight. I don't know if he was perfect, but did his job. I mean, faced 4 batters and retired 3 of the 4. I mean, that's 75%, right? My math is correct. I am the math guy.
Yeah, you should know. Of course, Liam and Donaldson used to be teammates in Toronto. After each of the 2 incidents involving the White Sox and Josh Donaldson the last few years, Liam has spoken out about how much he did not enjoy being teammates with Josh Donaldson in Toronto. So add this to the Josh Donaldson White Sox story today.
I thought that was interesting what you brought up just about how, he's brought up so many things about, hey, I talked to Lucas Giolito in the parking lot and, it's an inside joke between Tim and I. And Lucas was like, no, he didn't. And Tim was like, no, it isn't. Yeah, I don't know about that guy. He's a character. That's for sure. And not a good one.
I'm about to say,
one way to put it.
I'm about to say that's a nice way of putting it.
What did not Justin, Jason refer to the Tim Anderson and Josh Donaldson thing?
A dust-up.
A dust-up, yes.
Not the word I would have used,
No,
but
no,
that's
no,
okay.
No. Yeah, there was definitely some tension there. Anyways, Liam, though, I don't know if he'd be in that situation tomorrow, though. I think that's probably the one interesting wrinkle is if the White Sox are in another position to win, maybe we do see Kendall Graveman, who I think was used in a bigger moment in the 8th today against the top of the lineup against Torres,
Rizzo, and Stanton.
Yeah, Stanton, Rizzo. But still, Liam got the final outs, and as we talked about, he knew that that's his job. As he said, that's mine. I know I got to earn it. We feel like he's put himself into a pretty good spot to earn that, but. Kendall did probably get the bigger spot, and even with Liam, this is now 3 straight games he's pitched in it. I would be pretty surprised to see him tomorrow.
Yeah, I think the off day makes a difference, obviously, but I think the one thing you look at there too, I think you're thinking of the way Graven was used tonight as the pre-Hendricks return way that Pedro was going to manage this bullpen. I think Liam Hendricks he does not apply to that line of thinking of we're going to use our best pitcher in the best moment. The thing that he does really, really, really well, better than almost anybody in baseball, is go out and close the door in the 9th inning. And I think you're going to see him used in the 9th inning, with varying exceptions, I'm sure, but for the most part, for the remainder of the season. But you're right. Kendall Graveman pitched in perhaps a bigger moment, and that's good that Pedro Grifol has that versatility at his hands. He's got a guy who might be a closer caliber pitcher that he can deploy and still save his closer, his all-star closer, for the 9th, for the save situation. So I think that only helps the White Sox bullpen, which has been absolutely terrific since the start of May.
Yeah, and he can probably look at that as I have 3 people who can close and have closed. Kendall this year has closed games, and so he can use him in the 8th inning, feel confident that he can feel that these are closer innings, and this 8th inning is the 9th inning to me, and I'm getting these outs, and then bring his real closer in the 9th inning and Liam. But we've saw Joe Kelly do work, and today he even did work, even though he walked a guy and then gave up that bloop hit later on. But if he brings in somebody tomorrow like Keenan Middleton, I have utmost confidence in him. Same thing with Groot Santos, utmost confidence. So
what about Reynaldo Lopez?
Not really, but he's been
9
better.
2/3 innings of no earned runs allowed with 3 hits in his past 9 games.
If we bring him in the 9th inning, I'm not going to be confident because his 9th innings this year, no Gouda.
Been better.
No Gouda. But I have more confidence in the role that he probably will be in tomorrow if he comes into the game. 6th, 7th, 8th inning, I have more confidence in him than him being the closer like he was at the beginning of the year. So White Sox have a great luxury that not many teams have, where a bullpen's clicking on all cylinders for a good long time, since the start of May, and they've been continuing on. I know they gave up 2 runs today, but I don't count that first run as an actual run because it should have been caught.
Right. I mean, it was again, difficult play, but one that was makeable by, I think, 2 players. Any final thoughts on this game?
It's good to get a win. Like we said before, the White Sox don't have many, 27 now out of their games that they played. So winning ugly, if you want to say, winning with one guy providing all the offense and Lucas having to shut down the other team, that's a rare thing you're going to have. But the White Sox have done that time and time again with their starting pitchers. So, if their offense is going to be just sputtering the rest of the year, I think you can have confidence that starter pitching, maybe for the most part, will be solid, and the bullpen is locked down. So you don't need to score 7, 8 runs. You need to score 4 or 5 runs because this pitching staff's going to keep you in it. So it's a good victory.
Hey, and our guy Ellie saying that's 4 in a row, and he said that they're sweeping the big, bad, scary Yankees. So we'll see if Ellie's right, and he's just in Chicago. So maybe we can track, since Ellie's been in Chicago, the White Sox record, because it's probably been pretty good.
This was 62 tonight, by the way. This was game 62.
We're past the COVID mark.
100 left.
Oh, boy. What's the White Sox record in the next 100 games?
50-50.
That probably wins the Central.
I don't know about that. It'd still be 8 under.
Should be 50. Yeah, that'll be good.
Should they be selling if they're 8 under? I mean, you're saying that they
But I
should
guess
keep everybody, but they're also going to be 500.
But I guess here's the point, I guess, is what you're saying is they probably only need to be what? Probably only need to be about 10 over. Probably only need to go about 60 or,
To go
55 and 45, and they might win the division.
I guess it's done. 2 games over.
82 and 80. Also, hey, I think Brett is right. I think they said 5 straight wins, and we get Sox to puss.
Why wouldn't it be 8 straight wins?
That makes sense.
That's what I said, but also I don't think we have 8 hands. We don't have 8 Sox.
2,
We
4,
have-
6. Steven.
We have 6.
8.
We have 6 Sox.
Steven would come around.
Steven, bring 2 pairs of tube socks tomorrow.
No.
What?
Don't we already have Sox to puss here?
We have 6.
Why'd you see? That's why we only did 5 wins, because we only have 6 arms. Let's get his arms taken off.
I never said my bits made sense. Final thing.
It's more like a spider.
Steven Gottrit's right. Make sure to hit that like button. We love you. 89 and 73. Shea Fidel, we love you. Mercy. They go 89
man,
and
I'm going to
73.
Shea Fidel's house.
I'll buy an octopus. Anyways.
And throwing on the ice.
Only thing I wanted to bring up was our guy, Steven Nicholas. Hi, buddy. How are you? You seem really dismayed that I'm bringing up your name. You said that Andrew Benintendi was going to hit a home run today. He's back in the boogie down Bronx. Is it the air quality that kept him from hitting a home run? What's going on?
I mean, he was going to hit it on that one that he got hit by a pitch, but they didn't let him.
Oh.
Just that fear factor. I just think it's pretty messed up. You guys have been trying to kick me out of this studio the whole show. And now all of a sudden you want to insult me. It's, Steven, come back on camera over here.
Yeah,
Get on the microphone.
I do want to insult you. Thank you for staying on camera. You brought up Nick Madrigal, and I forgot. I was on watch. Okay. You brought up them trading Nick Madrigal and him being injured at the trade, and I was like, he also played in 2021 or 2020, making 2021 his second year, and I was like, wait, he had his first home run with the White Sox in his second year, his 245th plate appearance.
Here we go.
This is Andrew Benintendi's
drink.
235th plate appearance with the White Sox, 10 away from him not surpassing the Nick Madrigal mark.
You've already surpassed the amount of time that you're supposed to talk about Andrew Benintendi unprompted.
I'm done. All right.
That was like 20 seconds of Andrew and Benintendi talk.
Stink. All right. Anyways, that's going to do it for the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Lance Lynn on the bump. Randy Vasquez.
Who?
Randy Vasquez. You need to get your ears cleaned
That
out. I
sounds
guess
like-
it's just maybe Vinny's side is
This one,
clear.
yeah.
But Randy Vasquez.
my last- my
Randy
good one.
Vasquez. That sounds like an MVP 2005 creative player.
That sounds like 7 shutout innings tomorrow.
Randy Vasquez, he made his major league debut back on, I don't know why I can't
Soon,
figure out
recently.
that May 26th.
There you go.
It was said 5/26. Had no idea what the 5th month was. May 26th, it was a 5-1 loss versus the Padres. 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, given up to Juan Soto. Pretty good player right there. 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, but 10 fly balls. So 10 fly balls in Yankee Stadium. That might be difficult.
More importantly, does he throw from the right or left side?
He is a 6 foot, 165 pound right-hander from the Dominican Republic. 165 is pretty small. That's diminutive.
Yes.
No?
A diminutive Dominican.
A diminutive Dominican.
There you go.
We will see a diminutive Dominican. And where is Lance from?
Large
Indiana.
Indianan.
Okay, that doesn't roll off the tongue.
Large lumberjack.
A large Laker?
He's from around Indy. You have to come up with something for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Well, no pregame, but we'll join you postgame.
There's more than
Hopefully
corn in
after the
Indiana.
White Sox 5th win.
Did you know that?
What's that?
There's more than corn than Indiana.
There's more corn?
There's more than corn in Indiana.
There is?
Yeah, Greg Braggs is there too.
There you go. Hey, brick by brick. There's bricks and corn.
No, do you know that's the
I don't know.
Indiana Beach?
Indiana Beach?
Indiana Beach.
They have beaches there?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Sean, the lake is right there.
Lake
man.
Monticello
I was kidding.
and Lake Schaefer, or Monticello in Indiana, and Lake Schaefer. What
I'm
the
not going
fuck?
to Indiana for their beaches. I'm not going to Indiana, period.
Big
The
Crow?
armpit of America. Sorry, Greg.
Wow.
What?
That's
Why are you looking at me
rude.
like that?
That's rude.
It is positioned in a place where it is kind of like the armpit. If you look at it,
All right.
it's the only place
That's insane.
on the map of America
First off, it's
that looks like an
Monticello,
armpit.
Indiana. Second off, you guys were saying the region is somewhere near. We are in the Chicagoland metropolitan area.
That is true.
So
More than
They
Put
Nate.
even,
some
have
respect.
they even have the time zone.
Put
They had to
some
carve out part of the Eastern time
Yes,
zone to put it in the
we-
same time zone.
So what you're saying, Greg, is that where the Bears should really be building is the region and not neighborhood.
you got that right.
Amen,
Taxes
brother.
are way lower on
Amen.
our side of the streets.
No.
Let's
Indiana
go.
Bears.
Just
let's go.
imagine how good that eye would look on the side of the helmet.
All right.
Guys already have
Illinois or
feelings
Indiana?
team
We'll
in
never
that
know.
team- in
They'd
that
have to move him to Crown
state.
Point so they could keep the seat.
That's going to do it for the CHGO White Sox postgame show. We will be back
We
tomorrow.
have been slandering both Iowa and Indiana today. Tomorrow's Wisconsin and Missouri.
Illinois deserves it. Or Indiana deserves it.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
They're fine.
Iowa, I have a lot more family in Iowa, so I have no mind slandering Indiana. The only person I know from Indiana is literally Greg Braggs Jr.
Okay.
And Luke.
Is Luke from Indiana?
Well, we went to Valpo.
He went to Valpo.
Yeah.
Are you from Missouri? 'Cause
Absolutely not.
Okay, so they were glad we cleared that up.
You might want to check, though. He might be. I don't know.
Luke,
Maybe I'm wrong.
are you from Indiana?
No, he's not.
No.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know anybody.
Arlington Heights.
I don't know anybody from Indiana. I love everybody from Indiana because I know we got people watching from Indiana. But anyways, and we have somebody producing
Larry
us
Bird.
from-
All right.
John
There you go.
Mellencamp. Axl Rose.
Mid.
Keep it going, Braggs.
All of those people are mid.
I could go all night.
The Jackson family.
Tito Jackson.
One of those guys. Are
Jermaine Jackson.
Orville Redenbacher.
Marlon
great.
Jackson.
Oh, Janet's great. I don't want to diss Janet. Janet and Michael are pretty
pretty good.
Pretty talented. All right, anyways, that's going to do it for the CHGO White Sox podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow Vinny on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. You can follow Herb on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. We'll talk to you tomorrow for our postgame after the White Sox win 5 straight games, and we'll be doing the Soxtopus live because you want us to. Goodbye.